Welcome to Microdose Psychedelic Insights, powered by the Conscious Fund. This is the Psychedelic Insider series, fireside chats with industry leaders in the psychedelic space.
All right, so we are here with the team from KGK Science. Welcome. Nice to have a chat with you guys. So why don't we start with a little brief introduction, maybe introduce yourselves, and we'll just have a little chat about what you guys are up to and what the company is doing in this space. So
thank you, Jason. Hello, I'm Najla Guthrie, President and CEO of KGK Science. We are a company that has been around for over 24 years, conducting research in the natural health product space, cannabis, and now psychedelic space.
Okay, very good. So maybe a bit of background. It seems like you guys have been around for quite a while. A background about exactly what it is the company does or did.
Absolutely. So I founded the company over 24 years ago in 1997. I saw an opportunity in the natural products, nutraceutical space to provide scientific research behind products that were being brought to the marketplace. At that point in time, the industry was the Wild West. You had companies starting in people's garages in their basement. You had products being brought to market with all kinds of outrageous claims on them without any science to back them up. So, you can lose 30 pounds in 10 days, you can cure cancer, if you took this product. So they were very outrageous claims. They were misleading claims. They didn't have a lot of science. And I really had to educate the industry. We were really ahead of our time in our thinking to start a company like that. And at that point in time, my passion was also to develop good scientifically backed products. So we had two divisions in the company, one to develop products and one to provide research services to the industry. You fast forward to today, and that industry has matured a great deal. It's a $60 billion industry in dietary supplements alone in the US. Mm-hmm. It's a consumer-driven industry. The consumer is very much interested in their overall wellness and health. And they want to take these products, but it's a very educated consumer. So they want to make sure what they're taking is, what's in the bottle is actually in the bottle first. Second, that it's been produced, quality. And third, that if you're going to make a claim, that it actually has the science to back it up. So when you fast forward to today, I'm proud to say that a lot of the products that you see on the shelf, our company has had a hand in substantiating those claims. And I saw a similar opportunity back in 2015 or so, as the cannabis industry was, being brought to the marketplace, and a lot of products were being developed, and regulatory environment was looking like it was going to change. And we positioned ourselves to be able to do the same thing in that industry, and to help them, validate products and support the innovation. And again, here in the psychedelic industry, about 2.5 years ago, I saw a similar trend, and I started to really lay the groundwork in talking to a lot of the companies that were raising funds, that were being developed, all of the excitement that was going on in the industry. And I started to talk to them and build the groundwork of what really needs to happen here. And this is an industry and a class of products that are compounds that I'm very, very interested in, and I'm excited in the science that's being developed and that's coming to the forefront on these. I think they have tremendous potential in the mental health area, as well as in other areas. But again, we need to not get ahead of ourselves. We need to do the science. We need to get the data. We need to let the data guide us in what we can and can't say about these products and how they'll be developed and brought to the marketplace. And I'm helping a lot of companies to start to think about it in that way, to start to put their path to market forward, that we're starting to do a lot of gap analysis, what's available, what's not available in the literature on these, what's there to support, where are the gaps, how can we help you, and to really put together a plan and a dossier so that they can walk into the front doors of the FDA and Health Canada and with these products and make a difference out there. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time. And yeah, the industry needs, I guess you consider yourself a CRO? Is that
Yes, we're a contract research organization. Yes.
all right? And I guess kind of two-pronged, helping with the clinical data and the research, and then also maybe the regulatory path. Is that how you would?
Absolutely. Our regulatory division has grown tremendously in the last 3-4 years. Dr. Corey Hilmes came on board with us about 3 years ago. Dr. Hilmes used to be at the FDA. He's an MD, PhD, and he's heading up that regulatory side for us. We have tremendous expertise. We've got toxicologists in that division, and that's really key to helping companies lay the groundwork for what needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely. And on the research side, do you actually help clients through clinical trials, or is it more just research based? What do you do on the CRO side?
No, absolutely. We've been doing clinical research for over 24 years. We've got a robust clinical research team in-house at KGK that with a lot of PhDs headed up by Dr. Mel Evans, who's very well respected in the industry. We look at the design of the clinical trial is extremely important, depending on what you're studying, depending on the type of trial that you're trying to put together. You want to make sure that you've done your statistics, that you have a robust number in each group, that it's for the right length of time, that it's looking at the right biomarkers. There's a lot to consider when you're designing a clinical study. And a lot of times, especially, with our experience on the natural product side, a lot of times clients came to us and their clinical trial failed, and we would help them to redesign it. And it wasn't because the product didn't work, it was because the design was wrong for that particular study. What they looked at, or they didn't look long enough, the period was too short, or they didn't look at the right biomarkers and so on. So design is key, and how you design the clinical, and then execution is key as well. We have our own clinic in-house, so I've got MDs, clinical research associates that run the trials. We've got monitors that monitor the studies. They monitor each visit and make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and we're following the protocol how we're supposed to be following it, that the data is collected in a certain way and managed in a certain way, so that again, you can submit that at the end to the FDA or Health Canada without any issues, and that's very important. We've got a statistics team that can analyze the data at the end, and it goes back then to our researchers to interpret that data and write a robust final report for our clients, and then also publish the data if the client would like it published. I mean, we always would love that, obviously, because we want to add to the knowledge base out there. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, trial design is obviously important, and it kind of popped up in the market recently regarding Compass's 2B trial, their phase 2B, and there was some talk. Some people consider it maybe underwhelming results, but that's being debated. But some people kind of commented that the design of the trial maybe wasn't optimal for what they were going for. So that was one instance that popped up in the news of trial design, how it can really affect the results, or how the results are seen by the agencies and by the public and by the market.
Exactly. And we've seen that time and time again. And like I said to you, we've had clients come to us all the time when they've spent a lot of money to execute on a trial that in the end they can't really use, or it doesn't really advance where they want to get to. Again, not because the product didn't work, but because the design was flawed. It's very, very important to make sure that you spend the time at the beginning of the trial to design it properly, to look in the literature, to make sure you take everything into account, that you're looking at the right at the right biomarkers, that you're looking at the right endpoints, and using the right questionnaires, using the right biomarkers at that point in time as well. So,
Yeah.
so yes, I mean, design is crucial. I can't stress that enough in clinical studies, and even before you get to clinical studies, you want to make sure that you've done what you need to do preclinically to be able to get to the clinical at the right dose as well.
Yeah, well, it seems like you guys have years of experience. I mean, I'm seeing 20 plus years and a ton of trials already under your belt. So you've got some experience in this space. I'm assuming, you can correct me, in terms of clients, your focus would be early stage companies, maybe smaller to medium, that don't have their own facilities or their own teams. Is that kind of your client base?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we help clients in from the beginning to large clients. So if you're a company just starting out, or you're small or medium sized, definitely we can help you because you don't have the expertise in house. But we deal with multinationals as well that have huge scientific teams in house, but we work directly with their scientific team to understand what's your objective, where you're trying to go with this, what claims are you looking to make on this, and we work together with them on the design, and we give them our recommendations, and then we work back and forth until everyone is on the same page with where we want to go with the trial. But for a smaller company, they don't normally have that expertise in house, so they rely completely on us. It's not a dialogue back and forth usually. They'll take our recommendations.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, even the biggest companies need consulting help or design help or someone with specific expertise.
Well, absolutely. Even, I mean, the large companies, even if they have a scientific divisions and expertise in house, they still need to conduct the trial with a third party. Whether that's at a university, whether that's with a CRO, in order to give the trial credibility. They can't run the trial themselves. They can't they shouldn't collect the data themselves and analyze and write the papers. I mean, they can be involved in the process. They can, look at the protocol, advise, sign off on it. In the end, they can, look at the report and then mine the data with us, go back and ask questions and so on. But really, they shouldn't be involved in the execution of the trial and the collection of the data. So they still have to go out to third party to get that done. And we work with them as well.
Right. I mean, there's some, just from your website, I mean, you've worked with over 350 clinical trials across 40 indications, been in 150 publications, 10 million data points, 23 years in business, 25,000 participant database. Are those numbers? Hope they're up to date, but I'll just reading some highlights from your website so everybody knows how legit you guys are. So
Thank you.
Any current clients in the space you're working with that you can speak of? I'm not sure if you can mention who you're working with in the space.
So I can mention, the ones that are in the public domain. We're working with Psych Wellness. We're working with a company called Mindsen. We're working with Nutritional High. These are some of the companies that are in the public domain that I can mention. We're also doing a couple of trials, for Ketamine One as well, our parent company, and they operate a network of clinics across North America, and that has really opened up our reach in order for us to be able to conduct trials for third parties, and we're conducting a couple of trials for them as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I had a couple of notes here. So anything else you would like the audience to know about services you offer, or anything you'd like to get out there in terms of what?
I mean, standard clinical development runs from concept through the basic science, animal toxicity, and eventually human clinical trials. And we can help these companies with all of that. Ideally, I'd love to work with the company right from the beginning, from concept, because I think that's where we can add the most value as they're planning. By doing a path to market, understanding what their objectives are, understanding, what path they're looking to take. Are they going through the drug route? Is this going to be considered a nutraceutical? How can we map out that path to market? And then we do a gap analysis. Where are the gaps? What are you missing? Do you still need a toxicity, safety, neurotoxicity? Or can you go directly into a clinical study? And we can advise them right from the outset on that. So ideally, it'd be great to partner right from the outset, from concept, with a lot of these companies.
Well, it seems that there's a large potential client base in this sector. I mean, I've interviewed a few smaller startups in the private or who have just gone public, who could definitely, who have an idea, who have a potential molecule, but are really in the early stages and could probably use this guidance. I'm sure there's clients out there for you, and every day new ones coming on the radar.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's very exciting space, as I mentioned at the beginning. Like, I'm very excited about the science with these compounds. I was saying to somebody just actually a couple of days ago, I haven't been this excited about science and business in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I just see the potential of these compounds and the difference they can make and the impact they can have on mental health, especially, but other indications there are as well that are emerging where these can make a difference. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be part of that, and to have the opportunity to be part of that and to help this industry, avoid some of the pitfalls and do things right. I think that's, really important for all of us that are responsible in the industry.
Yeah, it is nice to be doing business in an industry that you can feel proud of. And
exactly.
It is a good feeling. I agree. Yeah. All right, so that was a nice little chat. If you have anything else to add, I got lots of material here to share with our audience. You guys are in London, Ontario based?
London, Ontario. Yes, we're in London, Ontario.
I'm a former UWO Mustang, so.
Are you? I love it.
Yes, I am. I'll send you
come back and visit.
It's my old stomping grounds. I'll send you a photo of me in my Mustangs football uniform back.
Please do.
20 some odd years ago. Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Yes, yeah, I know. I miss London. It's a great town.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I have lots of friends there still.
Well, awesome. Let me know when you're in town. I'd love to meet you in person.
So, yeah, be my pleasure. All right. So thanks for the chat. And let's continue whenever you have some interesting news, or we can update this in a little while, and we'll continue the conversation.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Nice talking with you.
Nice to talk to you too.
Thanks for joining the Psychedelic Insiders series, brought to you by Microdose and the Conscious Fund. Visit our website at www.microdose.buzz.